Hello everybody, welcome back. Hope everyone's having a great day today. Today is Stock Car Saturday, and I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit different today. I'm not going to be ripping cards. This is going to be a one-time thing that I'm doing. I'm going to be, as I've said before, like when I started doing the Stock Car videos, I've been a huge NASCAR fan for most of my life. And throughout my childhood and up until when I was in college, and even a little after college, I kind of off and on collected NASCAR diecast. And so I got a few in the background here, just to kind of have a background pieces. They're all old racing champions. And like this one I think from 1990, J.D. McDuffie, a Butch Miller, I think that's from 95. This is a 96 John Andretti, Kmart, Little Caesars car, Steve Grissom, 96 Steve Grissom Cartoon Network, and then 1995 preview of Todd Bodine's Factory Store car. And but I just kind of want to show it off. Like I said, that's just a little bit of the collection. Most of it's out in my garage on display, and just want to do something a little bit different. It's still sports related, but still just something fun, just a little something about me. And I haven't really bought any NASCAR diecast in a long time, but since I've been ripping the NASCAR cards, it's kind of piqued my interest in NASCAR all over again. Not that I've really lost, not really that I really lost, but just kind of more interested in like memorabilia and stuff as part of my sports collecting. So we're at my garage right now, because like I said, that's where I keep pretty much all my NASCAR diecast. Over here I got all my, not all, but most of my racing champions. They range from 1990 to 1996. And most of these I had from or all of them I should say, are from either my childhood up until like early years of my marriage. I've been married, my wife and I have been married for almost 9 years now. And first couple of years of my marriage, I still collected NASCAR diecast and stuff. And so I've had a lot of these for a really long time. This one right here, this as you saw from the intro, this Steve Grissom Hanna-Barbera Cartoon Network car. It's one of my all-time favorite paint schemes. And he wasn't the only driver that drove that car that year. Greg Sachs, Chad Little, they drove it also. There's also a couple other drivers that drove it, but he's the driver who started the year in it. And some of my other favorites. I just want to point out some of my favorites here. I love the X-Side car of Jeff Bodine, awesome paint scheme. Lake Speed, his quality care car, and he raced in 94. Something else kind of cool just about Racing Champion is they wasn't just the big name drivers that got stuff. Because you see up here, this Jimmy Means, it's an unsponsored car. I mean, it's actually Alka-Seltzer who sponsored it at the time, but it's a very low budget car, race team, didn't ever do anything, and always ran the back of the pack, but they even made diecast of that. And I've always been a huge fan of the underdog in NASCAR. And got some more stuff up there. Over here you got have all my racing action stuff, and which is a bit more high-end stuff. And where this over here those are made more towards the kids market for NASCAR. This is more the adult market. And they were very well made, very well detailed. I'll get a zoom in on one of them. Just very highly detailed rubber tires, had a material kind of cloth window net, and the hood pops up and everything, and you like to reveal the engine. I'm not gonna pull it up or anything because I want to pull it off the shelf, but just a few of my favorite ones of these, like this Steve Grissom, another Steve Grissom car, Kodiak. I always love this paint scheme. Funny story about that one is my growing up, my mom, grew up in a very strict household, and my mom didn't ever want me to get like NASCAR that had sponsorship doing with like alcohol or like cigarettes, but for some reason she was okay with me getting one that had chewing tobacco on it. Don't know the logic behind that, but she was allowed me to get this one, and I was really excited about it, and because I love that paint scheme. One of my all-time favorite diecasts that I have is the Steve Grissom Cartoon Network car. Like I had the race champion, but this is the full-size 124 scale car, and I just love the looks of that car. Ordered that one off eBay a while back. And another one of my favorites that I have is the Jeff Bodine X side, have his full-size car, and just I love that paint scheme. And probably my last one I just really want to point out because I just really like is this Dick Trickle. At least last one on this side. Dick Trickle, Hillig Myers. I love the Hillig Myers paint schemes. There was throughout the 90s. Junie Donlevy, who's the car owner, had Hillig Myers as their sponsorship, and they were never really that competitive and never won any races for that sponsorship. They went through a handful of drivers, and that's probably my favorite one. Another one of the Hillig Myers cars are actually right over here, and Bobby Hillen raced this one back in the early 90s, and I think that's actually from 1990, 1991, and actually that might have been 93, sorry. I think that was 93. And I always loved the Hillig Myers cars. They're very sharp, and they stuck out to me. I always liked them. And so this is the racing, not racing. I mean the racing actions that I have. Something kind of cool. The bodies come off, and you can see the roll cage and stuff. They're down a lot of them. Action was like the high-end product as far as NASCAR goes. They still make stuff, but there's a few other companies that kind of joined in with them. They're not, and they don't have as much of a stronghold as in the adult side of the collectibles. And so that's what I have over here. You probably saw down below every so often a bunch of car parts, and that has to. My day job, I work in a pretty much auto salvage, and I have an eBay store where I sell auto parts and stuff. I go to Salvage Art, strip down cars, and post parts on eBay. So that's all that is. Then over here, I have a small bit over here. This is kind of like my overflow of diecast. It's also the overflow for parts that I haven't listed on eBay. But got some, at the time, what was known as the Craftsman truck series. Diecast down here. Got some of the Bush series. At the time, what was the Bush series? Now the Nationwide. No, now the Xfinity, sorry. And one of my favorites is this Hermie Sadler DeWalt car. He raced back in 97. 97, there's a lot of paint schemes that I just loved. And I don't know if it's just because I remember them from my childhood or what, but a lot of them that stood out to me and I just really like. And just have a bunch of random ones through here. Here's another one of the Hillig Myers cars. Dick Trickle raced this one in 97, slightly different paint scheme. There's another one that was on the other side. It was Mike Wallace, but the paint scheme's very similar to this one. And I just love the looks of this car. And probably one of my favorite paint schemes throughout NASCAR history. And it's like these, I wish I had room to display these a little bit more, but I just don't have the room, so it's kind of sitting here. But there's another Cartoon Network car back there, actually two of them. This is the other Cartoon Network. Robert Presley drove this one. It's a little dusty. He's been sitting out here for a while. But he drove this one in 97 also, because like the other Steve Goodman one where he said then multiple drivers, there's multiple drivers for that year also. And so it's just kind of like how it in football cards or other sports cards, like how Topps has the update series where they change like the show like the players. They have like the player in like one uniform at the beginning, like where they were the season before, but then they update it to show them in the current uniform. Racing Champion, they kind of did something like that. And so there's a lot of similarities between diecast and cards in that way, where like they kind of updated things and kept with the times. And but there's also differences, obviously. There's actually another Cartoon Network right there when Lake Speed drove it in 98. That was actually the final year that the Cartoon Network sponsored a car, I believe. And no, 99 was, sorry. 99 was the final year. And I have one of them. It's on the other side. I won't go back to it. But Jerry Nadeau drove that one. I just have a few more over here. They're really cool. I like looking at them. It's mostly for the memory's sake. But as far as investment-wise, they're not a great investment. And unlike sports cards, where sports cards, like they just obviously are fantastic investments, probably one of the best investments you make. These, you never want to buy these brand new. These full-size die casts like this start out about 60 bucks and they just go down from there. I think I picked all these up for like $10 a piece, probably about 12, 13, 14 years ago. And honestly, if you were to go on eBay and try to purchase one of them right now, you'd probably have to maybe $20, $25 for them. And they're not going to really go up a whole lot. And those little racing champions over there, average value is probably about $3 a piece. And they're never going to be worth more than that. And they're more of a fun little, oh, I remember when that car raced type of thing, and for the memory's sake, than it is like an investment. And so don't ever buy these as an investment if you think about getting into NASCAR stuff. They're not a good investment at all. So that's my NASCAR diecast collection, and something a little different to do. Next week we'll be back to either opening basketball card, or next Saturday we'll be back to either opening basketball cards or NASCAR cards, just depending on what I find out in the wild. And but yeah, I just wanted to show that off and show just a little bit different part of my collection. And I feel like it's fun seeing that stuff of that stuff too. And so I have a question for you guys: is what's something maybe besides sports cards that you collect? And it can be sports related, it can be not sports related, and but that's my question for you guys. And hope you enjoyed this video. Just like I said, it's something different, something fun I want to do just once. And hope you enjoyed seeing some NASCAR diecasts. Maybe learned a little something. Learned not to invest in them. Thankfully that's not why I got into them. It's mostly just because I love, for the memory's sake of the stock cars. And but yeah, thanks for watching. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Everyone stay healthy, take care of yourselves. Until next time, later.